one. It's been a while since I've done this, but here we go. What is up, Crypto Kings? Welcome back to another live stream with the one, the only, the hard-working, the mastermind behind EMP Fusion, behind many other things as well, which we're going to talk about everything today. The man who was on the verge of everything not going well, but through pure dedication and hustle and belief has turned things around. And now we come 4, 5, 6 months later. Things are looking extremely good. Everyone, please give a round of applause for AJ Brockman. Welcome,
What?
AJ.
What's up, King? Great to be here, bro. Yeah, man, always a pleasure to come on the show. And yeah, I know you've been busy too, bro. You've been killing it in real life. You're a top sales guy and bringing all that money back into crypto, so you can stop working at some point. But yeah, man, we've been super busy. Had a great recovery, and just goes to show, you can't, as long as you don't give up and keep building, things usually turn around, and here we are. So we're going to talk about all that today for sure.
Awesome, AJ. So, there's definitely a few things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about peg recovery, which has been insane recently. We also will look at bonds. I'm sure there's lots in honor versus madness. I'm sure we talk about deck swap. Let's start. Should we start with peg recovery? Do you think that's the best place to start?
Yeah, bro, that sounds good. While I'm talking, maybe if you pull up the deck screener of EMP, the
Perfect.
chart, so over the last few weeks, we finally had our legacy migration as well. A lot of you that were in detonator, reactor, nodes, all of you now have at least partial credit. It wasn't one to one, but it was based on what you had put in terms of dollar value, what you had claimed, and then what you were due other than that. So as you can see, obviously in the last few days we had a little bit of a correction, which is healthy. I mean, ETH overall is down, Bitcoin's down today, but over the last 2 weeks, you can see we've almost tripled in price, and so I think having people excited that we finally did the migration, a lot of new eyeballs coming back in to Fusion. Again, more familiar with our old system, the inflationary system, and more gamified, ROI contracts of the original EMP. Now they're seeing this sustainable model of Fusion, and so this is really bullish because we can, sunset all of those legacy things in a very respectable way, where we don't leave anybody behind, but now we can focus fully on EMP fusion. So we went from about zero point 0.4 peg all the way to 0.75 or 7.1 peg, which is incredible. And, you know, like I said, obviously we're getting a little bit of a correction, but even now we're still above 50% peg. I think right now we're at zero point 0.6. And it's working. I mean, again, just to refresh everybody's memory, the way fusion works now is mathematically guaranteed to recover peg at some point, because the more EMP that is sacrificed into fusion, yep, you can see up there on the top right, perfect, bro. So the more EMP that's sacrificed into fusion, that's less EMP on the market that can be sold, and eventually all the EMP in existence um, will enter into fusion. Now, again, I mean, when I say all EMP in existence, obviously there'll be wallets that were hacked or people that have forgotten about things. But overall, that severely reduces the sell pressure until we are at peg, and then once we are at peg, we implement a peg stabilization bot where we had a lot of success with arbitrage bots. And what this will do is it will keep that 4,000 to 1 ratio with ETH and allow new people to get in at a steady price. And those that want to sell a little bit, again, if you sell your whole stack at once, you're still going to get hit with slippage and price impact. But it's a way that we can let people gracefully exit if they choose to. And those that are bullish on Fusion because of the APR, at that point, the APR will be much higher. They get in and they stay. And then eventually, when the there is no more EMP, then the only way to get into Fusion is by buying somebody else's microgrid. And I see you there, man. You're looking good.
Yeah, yeah, look at
You have
that there.
yeah, a fat stack. Again, and that obviously the microgrid value is a little bit of dashboard money, but overall, when
I
there
was a
is no,
millionaire the other day.
yeah, bro. So again, with ETH going down, yeah, you were officially a Fusion
Dashboard.
millionaire. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, obviously, as there is no more EMP and people only get in through uh microgrids, that a dollar value is a lot more realistic than people think. And again, APR will drive that as well as we get higher rewards with Fusion, that creates the demand for people to get in. So yeah, that's a high level overview. Sorry, I know there's probably a lot of things we need to dive into, but overall, it's been working incredibly well, and you know, we see it in action right now.
Definitely. And you're just touching on the microgrids just there. I'll go over here quickly. I personally this morning I took a bunch of money from my paycheck I got. I found some microgrids that were like I'll try find the cheapest one here, but I found one that was really cheap before. There was
Yes,
one that was similar to this right here. So occasionally someone throws up like a real cheap one for like a cent or a cent and a half. And if you're fast, you can scoop it up because
I
that's like
love it.
way below peg, um, for that. But
Yeah,
um,
no doubt. So yeah, and we have been actually scooping uh as the treasury as well. So again, when we did the migration, some people don't care about EMP or whatever the fact they're not involved. So they are, at least getting what they can out of their microgrids by selling, extremely cheap. And why this is bullish is because again, the treasury and people like you that are bullish on Fusion are getting amazing deals. I mean, that 0.01 per stack point is equivalent to about a 40 x on peg. So if you are getting these deals, you're able to again combat the dilution, because that was the other little bit of a bummer, is that when we did the legacy migration, it did dilute a lot of people that were already here, but that was just a side effect of what we had to do. And moving forward, that dilution only gets less. So in
mm,
other words, as we buy microgrids off the market, your ownership of Fusion will only go up over time. Because again, there's only so much EMP, and all the EMP that was accounted for in the migration will be burned. So that alone was about 10 million EMP, and there's already 31 million in Fusion. So we have maybe 10 million EMP left total. So it's happening really, really quickly. And as again it continues to get locked away in Fusion, the whole system becomes healthier and healthier. So yeah, definitely look for some cheap microgrids to get yourself a good position. And once people stop selling at lows, then again, and even the other cool thing, and I know we've talked about this, but the other cool thing is we don't even really rely on new buyers. So, like I said earlier, the Treasury, we've been buying microgrids uh, all along, and now I think there's probably over 4 million SAC points that we have been able to buy off the market, and those eventually again will be burned. What we do is we actually, the wallet is an active participant in Fusion, but we just recycle the rewards. So whatever we get in rewards goes right back into the pool, and this is cool because that alone will also raise APR. Everybody's hyper focused on APR, and obviously, we have a bunch of revenue streams, which we'll talk about, that feed Fusion. But even if the rewards stayed the same as they are even today, which is basically nothing, as long as we're buying more microgrids and burning those off the market, then the APR again is mathematically guaranteed to go up because you're getting the same amount of rewards spread over less people. So yeah, all those mechanisms make fusion really sustainable.
That's beautiful, AJ.
Mhm.
I guess now we're going to talk about the revenue stream. So I've got this tab set up over here, which I think you're familiar
Amazing.
with.
Yes, brother.
So
So yeah,
bonds. Yep. Tell us what's been happening, AJ. Obviously we've got, we had over $2 million the other day in this one. You have a few partnerships now going with it. So let us hear it, AJ.
yeah, so this is again one of our recent developments that's becoming, the backbone of the solar system. So, as a lot of you know, we were using our treasury and the vaults of DexFi to yield for the last 4 years. I mean, that's why EMP has survived the bear market and where we were creating external yield before anybody was. And so we obviously had some rough patches. There was a minor exploit in DexFi that we have now fixed, and things are bulletproof. And the TVL is actually higher than what it was before that. But the whole point is we had to come up with a way to make an easy button for yield farming. And even though we had some amazing technology and a way to actually again create real yield, a lot of people don't know about liquidity providing. They're intimidated by it. They aren't able to devote a full time attention to it. So we created DexFi bonds, and bonds are a way that we still use the vaults, all the smart contracts, all the underlying technology, all the underlying safety, but the capital is deployed on your behalf. So you don't have to learn about LP. You don't have to do anything. You simply put your ETH in and you earn 100% APR. Again, it's insane. That number has been going up as well. So we fluctuate there anywhere from 70 to 150% APR. So 100% has pretty much been the average since we started. And why that's so bullish is you're able to earn and feed your other positions. So even if it's fusion or maybe a meme token or whatever else, this is essentially you know a business in a box that allows you to earn every single day based on LP. So the more volume we have, the more fees we earn as well. Last week we set an all-time high. We did about $18,000 in fees on one day, so that was pretty amazing. And again, why the APR has been higher. And not only do you get all this benefit, but you get exposure to the underlying assets as well. So because you're minting in ETH, that ETH is then deployed, but the overall fund is diversified into alt tokens, high level, high cap, utility plays, and blue chips. And so as the overall market increases, not only are you earning yield, but then you potentially earn more in dollar value for the bond itself. So right now bonds are 233 bucks. At one point they were as high as about 280 dollars when ETH was pumping. So again, not only are you earning, but you're also getting price appreciation of the underlying assets, and no other protocol does that. And then last but not least, if you click on that 1.8 million, yep, perfect.
The bank.
Yeah, so this will pull up a debank of the fund itself. And so not only are we doing this through our vaults, but we're showing it completely transparently. So again, we're the only protocol that does this. Even other similar LP providing services, they have a black box where you don't know where the funds are. They could be off chain, they could be uh, other places, and sometimes it's not even malicious where the team would like to show it, but it's a security issue. But for us, we because all of our vaults are private and we have the underlying technology, we can show the vaults without showing the actual ranges. And so again, that's what sets us apart so that nobody can copy what we're doing. And yeah, the amazing part of all this is once the recovery fund is paid back, we get 30% of all the yield from bonds. So yeah, half of that goes to ZDEX and half goes to Fusion, and so that alone, and we could be talking 100 grand a month in yield to Fusion just from bonds if we get the TVL high enough. So this is a major revenue stream that hasn't even kicked in yet, but has amazing potential. And that really can set the base for the APR because as we grow, the Treasury grows as well, and we utilize bonds to yield. So now we're getting a cut from all the regular bonds, and we're building our Treasury to have 100% of the yield from bonds. So it really can snowball quickly. And this is just one revenue stream. We'll talk about the other ones. But yeah, have you had a chance to get bonds? I know you've been trying to get microgrids for cheap, which may be a better deal in the long run. But yeah, what do you think of bonds?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I keep wanting to get bonds, but then I just want to get a little bit more EMP, a few more
Totally.
microgrids, and then so I'm gonna do it like my EMP position over here. Like it's decent, you know. I might just be happy with my 1.8 sack points, and then I don't know. Next paycheck, I might start buying bonds. What should I do, AJ? I don't know. Give me some non-financial
Yeah,
advice.
yeah, not financial advice, right? So yeah, I would definitely say if you're brand new to Fusion, you want to start and get at least somewhat of a position, especially while microgrids are so cheap, and we're below peg. But yeah, I think that a great system is having at least some bonds because then you can use the yield to grow your position, essentially risk free, meaning, if you buy, say, 10 bonds, you know, that earns, whatever, roughly say $100 a week. You could say $40 would go to buying more EMP. Another, $20 would go to buying more bonds, and then $20 can go to paying your bills. So like that would be a really cool way to set it up. And then you can feed Fusion, indefinitely at that point, until there is no more EMP left. And we're doing a similar strategy right now again with our treasury, and that's why everybody says, well, the APR is so low. Yeah, because right now all the economic energy is going into peg recovery. Once we get to peg and we put that uh, peg bot in motion, that's another potential revenue stream. So again, when we have the peg bot, if somebody is new to EMP and they don't buy a microgrid, they may buy EMP on the market, and if we're over peg, then the bot would sell some of the EMP to stabilize peg, and then vice versa. If we're below peg, the bot buys some EMP to get back to peg, and that whole system of arbitrage, that is a revenue generator as well. So that will then start feeding Fusion. The Fusion itself is a revenue stream with all the interest back um, and volume. We've had a lot of people buying microgrids. When you buy a microgrid, there is a 3% fee on eShare, and so we've made about 5 grand in the last week on marketplace fees alone. So all of that will then go back into Fusion, and then we have Dex Swap and Universe Madness. But before we get to that, was there anything else in Fusion we should go over before we talk more about uh, revenue?
Um, I guess just to wrap on like the fusion and the bonds. I guess if you want to make money right now in like a really, really, really powerful way, then you go buy your bonds and you make anywhere from 70 to 150% APR. You can use that money to compound it. You can use the money to buy stuff in Fusion. You can use the money to pay your bills, etc. And this is like incredibly powerful play right now. But if you want to invest in the long term as well, then you can go over to EMP Fusion, and which is going to have the revenue streams from bonds coming into it, and then also additional revenue streams in the future that we're about to talk about right now. So I think
Perfect.
that pretty much covers it.
Yeah,
What
that was a
what
great
should we?
overview. Yeah, you're awesome at simplifying it. I like to talk for an hour. So yeah, and that is the whole beauty of fusion. Like again, people get maybe a little overwhelmed, but once you really understand that it's basically a single staking protocol that earns yield, it becomes really really bullish for sure.
Nice. So in terms of what's bullish coming up for Fusion, what do you think are the next big things of the pipeline? Would it be Honor versus Madness? Would it be Deck Swap? Anything else? What are we thinking?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So again, the beautiful part is that we never quit. So there's always something in the pipeline, and uh, you know, being under the EMP and DexFi umbrella, GDEX holder and Fusion holders reap the benefits of that. So uh, I think again, right now bonds have been so successful that we've had a ton of dev time on bonds. We've actually released. About 4 white labels for
Mm,
these as well. So not only are we utilizing this to create yield for our protocols, but now other communities are utilizing bonds to create real yield for their protocols. And um, we have 3 active right now, with 2 more coming online. One is Bernard Bonds, which is just another community that has been around for a long time. There's about 400,000 uh, of TVL and those. And we just announced Elephant Money is also now a white label partner. So Elephant Money, those that might be familiar with Elephant and Bank Teller, they're utilizing bonds for their uh, Elephant token, and they've bridged over to Base now as well. And that has about 100,000 TVL. Yeah, there you go, 431 for Bernard. Um, and so overall, we have about 2.5 million in bonds. So again, this is just another avenue for communities to put more into our vault system. Yep, there you go. There's a elephant, and then we have one more, but I can't say who it is. Right now, it's private to begin with, but it is a big community, and hopefully they'll be going public very soon. And then 2 other more private VC funds that don't really have protocols, but you are utilizing bonds for their own clients. Those 2 will go live next week. So overall, we could easily see, you know, 10 million in TVL on the bonds for sure. But that has been the majority of our focus right now. Is just making sure we have all the white labels running, everything's good. That's where the majority of revenue is coming. And then up next is DexSwap. Yeah, DexSwap. So DexSwap is our multi-chain Dex. And yeah, here you go, perfect. So right now we're on BSC. That's where all the EMP and eShare liquidity is at the moment. Um, we get fees on that. So again, 1% transaction fees on all swaps will go to GDEX and Fusion. Yeah, you can see, we've been doing 11, 12, 20K a day in volume, which is pretty impressive for, a bespoke independent DEX like this. And that number could get out of control. I mean, the next big lift is actually taking DEX swap and going multi-chain. So we'll be able to have base, pulse, arbitrum, yep, all those on our decks. And so, but some multi-chain dexes are doing $1 million a day in revenue. So again, are we gonna get there on day one? Probably not. But that is an amazing goal to shoot for. And even if we're at $100,000 a day in revenue, that would make the APR in Fusion go absolutely wild. So that is again the next undertaking. And then last but not least is Universe Madness. So before we get to that, was there anything else you want me to clarify on the Dex? I know you're bullish on Dex Rob, right? Okay. Yeah,
yeah, I see though how it makes a lot more sense to really focus the attention on the bonds right now, as that's the main revenue stream that we're getting now, and because
for
I guess
sure.
the potential it has including the business model as well, where we um is you kind of white labeling it to other projects. Is that right?
Yeah, so that's huge, bro. And I think elephant is going to be a really interesting uh like proof of concept because again, there's been a lot of turmoil in elephant, and I would say this to BT we go way back. So you know but the potential is there, and having real revenue is something that a project like elephant was missing for a while. And so by plugging that real revenue in to Element or any protocol for that matter, it is a use case to show that you can have buying pressure on your token without any new users. And so when that actually happens and you see it in a chart on how it reflects, there would be protocols knocking down the door to be involved in bonds. And in a way that I mean anybody can go provide LP and earn on their own, but we have an automated system that is best in class. Like nobody is able to do it like we are in that hands-off manner with transparency. So that is again, I think, why we're focused right now on bonds. And again, I mean, you know, the math. Okay, it's hard to put the math together, but we could see, like I said, on 10 million TVL, you know, we could see literally $1 million a month in revenue for bonds. So that is definitely why we're really excited for bonds.
And that would be 150,000 roughly dollars going to Fusion per month. Is that
Yeah,
pretty much correct? Yep.
yeah, exactly. So we had 30, it would be 30%. So that's 300,000 split in two. Yeah, between GDEX and Fusion. So yeah, 150K a month in revenue to Fusion. And again, I mean, 10 million is the first goal.
Mm.
Beefy, a lot of the other, I hate to even call them competitors because they don't offer half of what we offer. I mean, they have literally, you know, uh, uh, hundreds of millions in TVL. So yeah, it could get really crazy.
Nice. And I guess last point, you summed this up on Elephant, but it's interesting because you have a project like this that's gone, parabolic in the past and then crashed, gone up again and crashed. And now it has a real revenue stream to actually back it, like you were just saying
Totally.
before. So as a proof of concept, if it really starts pumping again, and it actually has this bonds behind it, and then people start to realize, oh, so it's actually it's staying up there this time. It's not just falling apart, and this is why.
Yeah.
So
100%, brother. Yep. So that again is part of the strategic partnerships that we're rolling out now. And there's the other protocol that I mentioned that's private right now. They have a really unique system as well. And to your point, yeah, I mean, knowing that real yield is feeding the bonds or feeding their token, it can get really exciting because a lot of these protocols have big treasuries, but they just sit there and do nothing. And you got to hope that the price, of whatever they hold, ETH or, Bitcoin goes up. But if it doesn't, then, it's not revenue, with our system, it's an actual, business in a box, that again, you deploy capital, whether it's from your community or your own treasury, and you get a cut of that yield forever. And so yeah, it's exciting, and again, nobody else is really doing this in DeFi. So
nice. All right, I think that just about cuts it. We look forward to checking in the next few months to see everything that happens with these white labels and to see the progress that they've made on it. But
awesome.
for
Yeah,
now, here we
here,
go.
here it is. Yeah. Yeah, so another major revenue stream is Universe Madness. So again, whether you're a gamer or not, this is something that we've been working on for uh, over a year now, and it is going to be the first AAA game to actually succeed in crypto. I'm calling it right now. So
Nice.
we've been building our asses off. So that we have a studio out of Thailand. Uh, um, that has been killing it. And yeah, this is a trading card game, so similar to say Magic the Gathering or Hearthstone or a lot of these big IPs, that have made literally. I think Hearthstone made $1 billion, so it's really crazy the the upside potential. And so yeah, we're almost ready. We're hoping to have our first pack sale and our playable alpha ready by October. So the game is very heavily Halloween and Wizard themed, and so that's going to be some great timing for us. And if you go really quickly to our YouTube page, we just released some actual game footage. So we did a live stream, Universe Madness on YouTube, and our live streams, the one we just did, um, we can show a little bit of the in-game footage. So we have a real game now. It's not just AI or animations that are just for trailers. Yep, there you go. So yeah, if you go a little bit further in, about halfway,
Halfway through the
yeah,
live. Yep. Oh, yep.
yeah, perfect. Yep, right there you go.
Oh, there.
Yep, anywhere in
Oh,
there is fine, probably. So, yeah, as you can see, this is the actual game, which is incredible. I mean, it's a mix between a TCG and a PvP battler. So, again, a lot of you, not to get too nerdy, but if you're familiar with Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering, it'll look very familiar. Um, however, and there's a legendary move right there. So again, fully animated, you're not playing on top of a tabletop. You're in a full 3D environment. So even some of these well-made games, the card games, you're still playing, even though they're three-dimensional, you're playing on a flat surface. So with this, you're in an actual 3D world. And then once we get a little bit farther into this, there's a mode where you battle your opponent one-on-one. So it's a mix between a first person shooter and you know a card game, which nobody has ever done before. And again, will hopefully give us the edge that we need. We just signed with Immutable as well. So Immutable is one of our Web3 distribution partners. And they were responsible for Gods Unchained, which was another Web3 game that again had like a, $1 billion market cap in the last bull run. So we're excited to have them really help us scale into the future with all this. So why does all this matter? Is that 10% of all the revenue from Universe Madness, whether it's Web 2 or Web 3, will go to Fusion. So again, I mean, if we are able to do millions and billions of dollars in revenue, that's potentially $1 million that goes into Fusion for sure. So yeah, if you fast forward a little bit too, it'll show you the deadly duel mode. Yeah, a little more, a little more. Oh
that here is it.
yeah, about right there probably. Yeah, it'll flip over and show you what it's like to battle your opponent, and then there's a finishing move as well that is like in Mortal Kombat. That's a pretty brutal way to kill your opponent as well. So yeah, that's the high level overview. You can let it run well until it goes into the next mode. But are you excited for that too? King, are you a
Yeah,
gamer? I never even asked you that. Yeah.
like a little bit.
Okay.
To be honest, I've never really played many card games before, but I would get into this. I would do some live streams. I would figure out the strategies, and I'll get really good. So I'll definitely be into it.
I love it, bro. Yeah, and again, that's the other cool thing with this game is that it streams very well. So like, you can get excited
Yeah.
to watch, and we're gonna have tournaments where, you can win a prize pool. We'll have a monthly like seasons where, you'll have to battle and be at the top of the leaderboard for more prizes. So yeah, it will definitely be very competitive on top of it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And all while feeding EMP fusion.
Yeah, 100%, bro. So Yeah, even if you're not into games, this is something to get excited about. Yeah, if you go, there you go, here we go. So, this is the cutscene where it goes into this deadly duel, and that's
Oh yeah.
when, yeah. So you can see you're fighting the opponent directly with a rock paper scissors mechanic, basically. And so yeah, and then this is the finisher. So you can see that's his tongue.
Damn.
That, yeah, she pulled out his tongue. So yeah.
Damn.
So yeah, it'll be again not definitely for a mature audience, and that's the victory pose. So and those are our two initial characters. Um, we have Agatha Flint, who's that female character. She is the quote unquote good guy um, from the Wizarding Society. Which again, maybe she is a good guy, maybe she isn't. Kind of an antagonist, but and then the other one is a pirate wizard, Edric Drake. So and he's from the Shadow Realm, which is like the dark side. But eventually, we're hoping to have so the playable alpha will be ready at the end of the year. That'll be these two characters, and then the full game release will be Q1 or Q2 of next year. And we're hoping to have about four characters on each faction, so a total of eight. So yeah, it'll be a fully fledged game, within the next year and a half. So.
Beautiful, AJ. Beautiful.
Yeah,
You
man,
know,
I'm excited for it. So again, I think people are sleeping on GG and Universe Madness. They don't know, what we're working on behind the scenes. And unfortunately, gaming is really dead right now. But in the bull run, and especially towards the end of a bull run, around October, right around the time, that we're gonna release all this, that's when really hype usually goes crazy for Web3 games. So all that was done on purpose as well.
I love it, AJ.
Awesome, bro.
I feel so. We've covered the big ones. Obviously, bonds is the number one thing right now. We get the bonds going. We pay off the what do you call it with the
Yep, so
um
their compensation fund. Yep.
yeah.
Yep. For those that were hacked, we did yeah, based on what you had in the protocol at the time, you get credit. And yeah, I mean, again, no other protocol is doing that. We made good on everything that we do, and honestly, we're making major headway already. If we get 10 million in TVL, we can get everybody paid back within like a month. So like 30 to 60 days, and then all that revenue comes to Fusion for sure.
What do you reckon the steps are to get us up to 10 million in the vaults?
Yeah, so honestly, and that's the cool part about vaults, they kind of feed themselves. So a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
people that get yield will take some of that yield and buy more bonds, but even the price appreciation alone is powerful. So right now, we're at about 2 million TVL, and that's with ETH and a lot of the other alts at below all-time high. If we see ETH at you know 7-8 grand, then that means there's already about 5 million TVL in the vaults without any new deposits. So the other cool part is we earn more in dollar value as the assets go up without any new deposits. So
Mm.
yeah, they sell themselves. I mean, where else are you going to get 100% APR with exposure to ETH? It's pretty spectacular. So
Nice. And how's the treasury looking? Because obviously you took a bit of a hit, but now you've been rebuilding it, and also crypto's way up since that happened. So
yeah,
how are we
absolutely.
looking?
Yeah, so we were the number one holder in vaults, the EMP Treasury, at the time of the hack. So we're number one on the recovery fund anyway. So every payout, we get a large part of that,
Nice.
which again helps feed it. And to your point, it is recovering nicely. I mean, thank God we didn't go to zero. We got hit really hard, um, but we didn't just get completely wiped out. So between the reserves that we did have and the recovery fund paying, uh, you know, we're looking good. We're again, people misconstrue things, so I'm not going to disclose what it's at, but it's already a lot healthier than we anticipated, and that only will get better over time. And you can see, I mean, we have had the organic momentum, even without the buyers. We're making enough right now in the treasury that we're able to significantly, contribute to buying EMP and buying microgrid. So, yeah, I'd say, another probably 3 months, right into the bull run, we'll be over what we were originally in the treasury and be earning from everything else. So, yeah, it's
Nice.
looking
And
really good.
is that another revenue stream for Fusion you'll be using? So, you'll be
Totally.
one of the biggest holders. So you take a portion of that money, put that into Fusion payouts.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, once recovery funds are paid, we don't ever like to sell the principal because then we earn less over time.
Yeah.
But obviously, as we get more in bonds, that feeds the daily and the weekly payouts. So yeah, and that's why when we say um, APR from bonds is a good baseline because that is a proven APR right now, and obviously you know it doesn't translate directly to Fusion because we don't have $100 million of ETH that we would have in EMP, and we can't sell EMP because then that defeats the purpose. But the whole idea is that as the treasury scales, that is a great baseline for the APR that will be feeding Fusion as well. So it will be again. It's a Fusion is a long game, but the upside potential on APR is way higher than what
Mm,
bonds are because we have all the independent revenue streams feeding it as well. So again, we built options for everybody within our protocols for sure.
nice. I've got my new plan now. I've just come up with it in my head. Are you
I
ready to
love it.
hear it?
Let's hear it. All right, lay it on me. Yeah,
So the next few paychecks I get, so I'm going on a road trip the next couple of weeks to earn a whole bunch of money.
hell
So
yeah.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make all the money. I'm gonna come back on my laptop 2 weeks later. I'm gonna buy a whole bunch of bonds. Okay. So I'll try to get at least 7, 8 bonds, hopefully, with the paycheck.
Let's go. Yep.
And then all the money I make from the bonds, I'm gonna use to buy EMP. But then all the money I make from my job, I'm gonna use to buy more bonds. So I'm gonna keep
I
that
like it.
cycle going until EMP is an absolute money printer. And then by the time Fusion is printing like crazy, I'm gonna use all that money making from Fusion to buy even more bonds. And then by this point, I'm going to have hundreds of bonds.
I love
And
it.
then, and only then, I'm going to take some of the profit from bonds for myself, and then some of the other profit to just my buy more bonds as well. So that's my plan.
Let's go. I love it. Yes, that is the patented king crypto king loop. So yeah, no doubt. That's a great plan. I mean, again, that's what's so cool about how the different systems interact with each other is that you can do, looping strategies like that. And, you know, the way Fusion is set up moving forward, you can take profit from Fusion without hurting the ecosystem. So yeah, I think that's a killer plan. And again, as we start seeing the flywheel spin up more and more, we'll be doing some, infographics to help illustrate what you just said. But yeah, I mean, again, the bonds are sort of the immediate return and the backbone. And Fusion is the long-term play with way higher upside potential in yield. So yeah, and yeah, and we have everything in between. So yeah,
I love it. I love it. That's pretty much all from me, AJ. I don't know if there's anything else you think you need to or want to cover. Is there?
yeah. No, I mean, again, I think we just back to in the very beginning. Obviously, we're cooling off a little bit on the chart, but peg recovery is 100% real. It's mathematically guaranteed to happen. It may not happen overnight, but I think the community has really been rallying around it. We've had a lot more excitement, a lot more interest, and we'll be doing a full, Kings, we love our AMA train. So we'll be doing a full AMA train as we get closer to Peg. And, just being one of the only algorithmic tokens to number one, survive, and number two, potentially, and I say potentially, but definitely get back to Peg. That alone is going to be newsworthy, and then that's when we really start ramping up the advertisement and marketing. And so again, I think uh, the floodgates will open, and now is just a time to make sure you get great positions. As you said, make sure you're looking at microgrids. Buying cheap microgrids will give you a little bit of a head start on everything. And now, uh, once those are gone, then you have to sacrifice your EMP. And so, yeah, I mean that is again the cool part of the ecosystem, is that it feeds itself as we continue to grow. So
I love it, AJ. Those AMAs always get me hyped up. They make me want to work now because I want to go out and
yeah,
make some money. So
I love it. Yeah, no doubt, brother. Well, and again, I mean, that's the true sign of success. I mean, obviously, we all want to be retired and live off crypto, but you still have to work for your bags. And yeah, I mean, putting in the work now, having some fresh capital coming in, and then deploying it. That's like the number one rule of investing. Making the sacrifices now to be in a much better spot in the future. And so. You've always understood that, King. But yeah, I think the next few months are going to be really exciting. We said that a few months ago, and here we are. I mean, we're almost at peg. So
nice.
everything that we're saying is happening. It's a slow and steady road, but we're never quitting, and we're building things that really are future proof. So that we're not in a position anymore where we ever have to migrate again or rely on things that aren't sustainable. So
Yeah, I always look forward to the AMAs with you, but I like to make it 2 to 3 months at a time. So every time we do an AMA, there's like, oh, this has happened, that's happened, and there's been a real good amount of progress every single time. So
I love it. Yeah, go look at our previous AMA a few months ago, and now I've watched this one, and I'm pretty sure every single goal that we had we've hit. So that's pretty powerful for sure.
awesome. Well, I think that just about covers it today. So I appreciate you coming on, AJ, as always. Appreciate all the hard work you do and everything like that, and the vision, the project that you're continuing to build day after day. So we all appreciate it, AJ, and thank you once again.
Thank you, King. No doubt, bro. You've been one of our most loyal supporters, and the whole Crypto King community. Again, it got rough there for a while, but now you're back. Markets are looking good. I think all the bags that we've built, whether it's within Fusion or not, are gonna look really good at the end of the year. So, congrats to everybody that stuck it out, even if you had to go back to work, right, King? So
Yep, it's all good. It's
yeah.
temporary.
Yeah, awesome, bro. All right.
Awesome. We'll end it there, and Crypto Kings out. Okay, and we're done.